Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation on the Disney Magic, the flagship of Disney Cruise Lines. Our group consists of Helma, Young, Duktong, myself, and Quincy. We also wanted to give you a look into our respective responsibilities that made this analysis possible. We will begin this presentation by going over the history of the Disney Magic from conception to embarkation and its mission. Then, we will go over the identity of the Magic's brand. We will then explore the traits of the Magic's clientele. For our analysis, we will go over our multifaceted approach to exploring customer reviews for the Magic, which will culminate in a few key recommendations designed to improve guest satisfaction. Let's get started by learning a little bit more about the Magic. After seeing the success of the fledgling Carnival Cruise Lines, the Walt Disney Company announced its plans to enter the cruise line industry on May 3, 1994, and ordered the construction of the Magic soon after. This initiated the founding of Disney Cruise Lines. Progress continued on building the Magic, and while waiting for the Magic to be built, Disney purchased Gorda Cay, which would eventually be renovated into Castaway Cay, Disney's private island in the Bahamas. After a few delays and setbacks, the Magic was finally shipped. On July 30th, 1998, the Magic had her maiden voyage to the Western Caribbean and has been providing excellent experiences for cruisers ever since. The Magic has a capacity of 2,700 passengers and nearly 1,000 crew. She has 13 decks, 877 staterooms, 2 Broadway-sized theaters, over a dozen restaurants, and a water park. For every one of its guests, the Disney Magic has worked to fulfill the vision of its parent company: to entertain, inform, and inspire people around the globe through the power of unparalleled storytelling, reflecting the iconic brands, creative minds, and innovative technologies that make ours the world's premier entertainment company. While the Walt Disney Company is one of the largest and most recognizable brands in the world, the Disney Magic's identity differs in a few key ways. As part of our analysis, we have utilized the brand identity prism model to examine the specific brand of the Magic. The physical traits of the Disney Magic are colorful and vibrant. The ship is coated in colors, famous Disney characters, and of course the iconic mouse ears. Each section of the ship is themed and methodically detailed, like their Beauty and the Beast themed restaurant and their Marvel Heroes Pavilion. The Magic has its own unique personality flavored by the magic associated with the Disney brand. The staff, the announcements, and even their safety equipment exude the brand's trademark positive energy. Alongside that personality, there exists a strong culture of discipline among the staff. Staff are trained to always maintain a sort of perfect image of the brand and are marshaled with the mantra, "The show must go on." While many things can go wrong on a cruise, Disney wants to project safety and security through its culture. This ties into the self-image the Magic aims to project into its guests of being in a safe, imaginative space where they can feel special and carefree. The typical image of a Magic passenger is one of an audience member. Since the staff are always putting on a show, the guests are placed in the audience role. One of the goals of the brand is to make every guest feel like a VIP and making them feel safe, like they are among family. The staff on the Magic endeavor to maintain a positive relationship with their guests, which they accomplish through appearing trustworthy, going above and beyond for them, and, as is posted on walls around the ship, asking customers to be our guest. Now that we have covered the brand's identity, we want to focus on the identity of the Magic's guests. We do this by utilizing the semiotic square model. For our semiotic square, we wanted to delve deeper into the idea of the typical cruise customer. Our analysis of the Disney Magic semiotic square first divides our cruisers into groups with 2 distinct goals. There are those cruisers who believe that the fun is in the destination, and there are those cruisers who believe that the joy is in the journey. For our destination-oriented travelers, the ports of call are the highlight. These travelers are less concerned with the onboard activities and amenities than they are with visiting locales such as the Bahamas, the Mediterranean coast, and Hawaii. We divide this type of traveler into 2 subgroups. The first is the excursionist. Excursionists seek to take advantage of the partnerships the Disney Magic has fostered with local tour and entertainment providers. A typical port day for an excursionist involves parasailing, snorkeling, or other high-adventure activities, sometimes with Mickey Mouse alongside them. Globetrotters, on the other hand, are seeking to add pins to their world maps. These travelers are interested in seeing all there is to be seen, whether it's Aztec ruins in Yucatan or wine flights in Nassau. For our journey-oriented travelers, the highlight of cruising is the ship itself. The first type of these travelers is the amenity seekers. The Disney Magic offers Broadway-style shows, movie theaters, pools, and spas, and amenity seekers live in this type of luxury. Also among journey-oriented travelers are the Mouseketeers. While many of the other types of travelers we have identified can find satisfaction with competitors like Carnival and Norwegian Cruise Lines, Mouseketeers cannot. They came aboard for meet and greets with Mickey Mouse, dinners with Donald Duck, and all of the certified Disney magic aboard. Excursionists and Mouseketeers intersect at the Cruisaholics. Those repeat travelers who have found a special blend of Disney magic and unique onshore experiences to keep them coming for years and years. While at the bottom, where no traits are shared, are the seasick, those travelers who are just along for the ride and would rather be home. For the remainder of our analysis, we will be focusing on customer-generated information retrieved from online reviews on cruisecritic.com. We selected this website due to its popularity among cruisers and the fact that the average review on this site is significantly longer and contains more information than reviews on competing sites. Each reviewer on the site assigned a score from 1 to 5 stars for their experience. We used a dual approach to analyze a total of 465 reviews from January 2002 to February 2020. Our first approach, known as the ServQual approach, was qualitative in nature and involved human analysis of the reviews. These reviews were divided into the categories shown here. These scores are also shown alongside the ratings given by the editor of cruisecritic.com, who holistically evaluates each ship on their platform. As evidenced by the results, the Magic experienced the greatest difficulty in providing customers with a sense of value for their money. Magic also faced relatively lower scores in terms of enrichment, a measure of the educational and cultural activities aboard the ship. Our second approach was quantitative in nature. We conducted text mining, topic modeling, sentiment analysis, and emotional analysis on all 465 reviews, and computed statistics for our results. Text mining is a big data approach which aims to collect meaningful trends from large amounts of text using software. We used Python, a programming language, to process each review and prepare it for analysis by breaking it into sentences. Sentiment analysis allows us to use our software to quantify how positive or negative each review is. We did this by plugging in the Opinion Lexicon, which is a commonly used high-tier dictionary. As shown, this analysis showed that the majority of the reviews were highly positive. Thus, deeper analysis was necessary. Next, we used the NRC Emotion Lexicon, a dictionary used by many researchers to isolate specific emotional responses within each review. Our code revealed a mixture of emotions among reviewers, but 2 in particular stood out: anticipation and surprise. It makes sense given Disney's reputation of providing wonder and excitement. This leads to the conclusion that our recommendations for the Magic should work to harness these emotions to amplify customers' experiences. For further analysis, we used a process called topic modeling to systematically divide review text into key topics. Using WordStat-8, our text mining algorithm found 5 topics primarily discussed in reviews. These were room quality, dining quality, logistics, onshore activities, and shipboard activities. Our software was able to assign a score to each review based on the review's use of terms in any of these 5 categories. For example, if a review mostly talked about the stateroom, housekeeping, and in-room furniture, it would receive a high room quality frequency score. These scores were tabulated against the reviewer's ratings and were subjected to a Pearson R two-tailed test for correlation. Of the 5 topics, 4 were shown to have a significant positive impact on guest ratings: logistics, room quality, shipboard activities, and onshore activities, with onshore activities playing the largest role in determining a guest's review rating. This leads to our conclusion that our recommendations for the Magic should be largely based on improving onshore activities. Before we get into our recommendations, we wanted to review some of our key findings from our review analysis. From reading each individual review, our team noticed consistent, in-depth complaints about food quality and freshness, inadequate connectivity in the ship's onboard Wi-Fi network, and poor childcare services. From our ServQual analysis, we found that review scores suffer in terms of value for money and a lack of enrichment. However, as shown in our sentiment analysis, reviews were still overwhelmingly positive. Our topic modeling revealed that online reviews are most statistically impacted by guests writing about onshore activities. And finally, Our emotional analysis revealed that our recommendations need to harness anticipation and surprise in our guests. We consolidated all of these results and ran statistical analyses through SPSS to identify the 3 target areas that were causing the greatest impact on customers' experiences. The first of these is the vacation from their vacation bracket. Customers' complaints about being unable to escape from their vacation resonated through their comments about poor Wi-Fi, lack of enriching activities, and inadequate childcare, which prevent them from having a completely restful time on board. Statistically speaking, these issues impacted the reviews of customers who mentioned these topics by 2 whole stars. The second of these is the hidden Mickey's bracket. Long wait times for meet and greets, compressed schedules, and limited character variety decreased Mouseketeers' ratings by an average of 1.5 stars. Lastly, we have the culinary needs bracket. Customers' complaints about being unable to find fresh, nourishing food affected their ratings by a whopping 2.5 stars. Of these 3 key findings, vacation from their vacation and hidden Mickeys provided the foundation for our Gap 1 recommendations, and culinary needs helped us form our Gap 2 recommendations. Gap 1 demonstrates a brand's design flaws and represents a gap between expectations and service delivery. One of our Gap 1 errors occurs when reviews illuminated guests' desire to take a vacation from their vacation. Guests want to be able to have a reprieve from their current situation even when on vacation, and they find this escape with high-speed internet and competent childcare. The other occurs when reviews showed that Mouseketeer-type guests were unable to find satisfaction with character meet and greets due to long wait times and a lack of availability. Gap 2 demonstrates errors in execution and represents a gap between service delivery and perceptions. As was demonstrated by our sentiment analysis, guests have very high anticipation for the magic, which leads to a larger Gap 2 when service delivery does not meet expectations. Among this gap, the most significant error found centers on the culinary experience while on board and the failures therein. After identifying these gaps, we have formulated ways to deliver guest expectations more adequately. For Gap 1, the guests wanting a vacation from their vacation, we found that many guests were not satisfied in their internet amenities and the offerings of the Kids Club on the Magic. Parents wanted high-speed internet for themselves, but also wanted the Kids Club to have activities for all ages that were not technology-focused. The solution we formulated was to increase Wi-Fi service by increasing the number of routers in both public areas and guest quarters, and ensuring the satellite internet purchased has the capacity for all 3,700 potential passengers and crew. We also found that Disney Magic staff was one of the most positively reviewed aspects of guest experiences. Using this expertly trained staff, we recommend that Kids Club staff is expanded to have employees who specialize in a specific age range and can offer a host of individualized activities, both within the club and across the ship, to best meet the needs of young guests. Employing this solution will allow all guests to be satisfied with all time spent on the ship, whether they are relaxing from their vacation or participating in ship-offered activities. These activities can also be tailored to increase enrichment, which was a noted failure found during our ServQual analysis. Our ServQual analysis and reading of the reviews reveal the fact that guests frequently report prohibitively long lines to meet their favorite Disney characters on board. This leads to guests feeling like they are not getting adequate value for their money, and often disenfranchises Mouseketeer-type guests. Our proposed solution involves cross-training costume character staff in different roles on board, so that we develop a reserve of characters in peak periods. We can offer more character opportunities this way, and offer character opportunities at Castaway Cay, which could be adjusted to make the waits more comfortable for our guests. This would result in guests, especially our Mouseketeers, to feel like they are receiving greater value for their ticket price. For Gap 2, the failure to deliver expected culinary quality, we found that guests were dissatisfied with both the quality of food offered and the lack of options for different dietary needs. The nature of the experiences that were diminished by food on the Magic indicated a separation between the guest and the culinary experience and cultivation on board the Magic. Therefore, we recommend that a garden be cultivated in Castaway Cay that focuses on native fruits and vegetables. Advertising this garden and informing the guests that the foods they are eating were prepared using locally, specially grown food for their cruise will allow the guests to feel included in the experience of Castaway Cay beyond their role as a visitor, and will also satisfy the gap where guests expected fresh produce. Overall, establishing a garden in Castaway Cay will also cut costs, as produce will not have to be stored and damaged in advance of the excursion. In conclusion, our multifaceted approach to analyzing the Disney Magic's brand, clientele, and service has provided us with the capability to improve guest satisfaction on board. We would like to thank you for watching, and have a nice day.